Okay, now, where to even start? I've not covered this yet because, frankly, covering nonsensical speculations spread by others to fuel their agenda and bias, it's so petty that I just couldn't be asked. And I know that makes me quite terrible at whatever this is, but let's get into it, right? Xbox is dead. I mean, again, at this point, the Xbox brand is this chick from Eternal, and every time she dies, she just pops right back up. So, okay, let's get into it. Now, look, granted, I've not done tons of research on all this, because I just see it, I grin, and I think, okay, whatever, but there's been like a million, this last week has been mental. So there has been, Xbox is dead, Xbox is gone, Xbox is buried, RIP Xbox. Microsoft are done with hardware, laser. They are done. They are quitting. They are pulling the plug. It is over. Everyone all over the place was talking about it. All the typical fanboys of PlayStation who just get their kick and get real hard about, you know, anything negative about Xbox. It just, nothing puts a grin and a smile on their face, thinking they have a gotcha, that they have a victory. Because look, we all know that PlayStation fans, the hardcore ones, not like 80% of them, or even 90% of them, the really loud, annoying, bit retarded minority of them, they don't think that they're gamers. They think that they're soldiers in a war. You know, they think they're helldivers, bro. Do you know what I mean? And they're fighting for democracy. You know, and Xbox users, they're just the bugs on the ground. You know what I mean? Like they think this is real. They think this is a real war zone. So, okay, let's get into it. So anyway, it was Xbox is gone. Apparently, some insider, can't be verified, someone said somewhere that Xbox was, it's done. It's done. Pulling the plug. So that was the news. That was the big thing. Everyone was doing videos about it. I didn't, because like I said, couldn't be asked. But then, lo and behold, a few days pass, right? The sun rises and sets a few times, and then all of a sudden, Xbox Next Gen specs leak. And then the narrative changes, and it's, oh no, Xbox is back in the console space. Magnus is coming, and it's gonna do this, and it's gonna do that. And again, it's just more speculation, right? None of this stuff is even real. It's just, yeah, it does this, it does that, it's happening, yeah, and then now you have this. Wow. So, alleged staff say that Xbox is being pulled. Now, alleged, that's an interesting word, isn't it? And everyone, look, just keep you up to date. Because if you don't keep up to date, like I don't most of the time, the narrative now by everyone, I mean everyone, from Actman to Dreamcast guy to Potter Up to everyone who has a mouth who screams, you know, Sony and bleeds blue, is saying that that's it. It's dead. The plug is being pulled. All the Walmarts are just pulling out Xboxes and just throwing them away. All because there's a few pictures of there not being many Xboxes on the shelves. I mean, and some alleged... Do you know what alleged staff means, bruv? I'll tell you what alleged staff... Alleged means they don't even have confirmation. They don't have any validation, any proof, any record that these staff members are actual staff members, which ultimately means some random person has said, yeah, can't give him my name or ID, but I work for Walmart and I'm telling you, source, trust me, bro, Xbox is done. Basically, we have like Reforge's retarded cousin saying he works for Walmart. That's what this is. I mean, look, it's very easy. I could jump in the car, right? And I could just go find some stores whereby the PlayStation section looks a little empty. Take a picture of it and be like, oh look, Sony are pulling the plug. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But look, just back to the base of what all this is. This ultimately boils down to a very simple thing. The tiny minority of very loud PlayStation ponies desperately want Xbox to die. Not because they think it would benefit gaming, because it wouldn't. Not because they think it would benefit PlayStation, because it wouldn't. Because they want that short-term high of going on Twitter and yelling from every rooftop to anyone who will listen how Xbox is dead, to just rub it in the face of their fellow gamer, a man or woman who essentially shares the exact same hobby and interests as them, but to try and make them feel bad that their gaming preference no longer exists. You couldn't get more petty, could you? It's really sad. But I don't think that the pony has really thought this through. Because let's imagine, just for a second, people, that Microsoft announced Xbox is done. There's no more next generation of Xbox. That's it. So the only real console, apart from Nintendo, which is its own thing, the only console like this will be the PlayStation 6. What the hell would they talk about? You have to look at certain channels. Dreamcast guy, Polorock, Reforge, so many others I can't think of off the top of my head, but what would they talk about, bruv? Because these people don't game. They don't game. Look, here's the difference between me and them, in a nutshell. Gaming, I use as an escapism from my life. Gaming isn't my life. Talking about other gamers is not my identity. That's not my life. This is just an escapism from that, right? Gaming is a hobby for me. It's not an obsession. Do you know what I mean? These people are more interested in talking about what's happening than they are actually doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you will get PlayStation fanboys who will talk relentlessly about how great Ghost of Yotai is, defend anyone talking bad about it, but they haven't even played it. That's the sort of people that we're talking about. And I think if you are an individual who desperately wants a brand to fail, that means you have an emotional connection to that brand failing. Like, where did Xbox touch you, bruv? Like, you shouldn't have this much animosity towards a brand. You know how weird that is? It's strange. You are the problem. And anyone who would be upset that a product is no longer available, also part of the problem. Let me tell you all here and now, right? And this will upset some people. I don't care. Never have. If Xbox was gone and no longer existed, I couldn't find a single solitary fuck to give. I've been part of PlayStation since it started. I have many childhood memories with it. But if Sony announced PlayStation was dead, gone, no more PlayStation, I wouldn't give a single solitary fuck. Because they are pieces of plastic. Logos on them belong to companies that don't know or care I exist. Why should I care about them? I don't. Gaming exists to serve me. I don't exist to serve it or the companies that represent it. And that ultimately is the difference between people like the idiots, you know who, well, you know. If you know, you know. You know who I'm talking about. And people like me. So anyway, Xbox isn't dying. Xbox isn't going anywhere. They will spin any speculation they can to make it seem that way because that's the sad people they are. They live on Twitter. They live for this. The gotcha moment. Oh, glorious. It's so stupid. Ugh. And what would happen? Say Xbox went. What happens then? Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's enough of this. I need to... God, I tell you this... Fucking